All right. So the big boom of body types showed us that mechanics plays an essential role in performance because each sport has different mechanical requirements for it. Sports like gymnastics require that you spin really fast, so the smaller you are, the better. Sports like basketball have this need to be the taller and the longer reach you have, the better your performance is. So that's going to shift the different individuals who are going to go into those sports and be successful there. Bergman's rules told us that the mass of our body is dependent on the temperature of the environment that we've adapted to. So in a cold environment, we're going to have a more massive body. In a warm environment, we're going to have a smaller body. Allen's rules told us that the longer our limbs are means that we have a historically background of having developed or adapted to a warmer environment. So limb length increases in warm environments, decreases in cold environments. Ectomorphs tend to have these slim, longer, more frailish bodies that are smaller bodies with longer limbs. Mesomorphs have muscular builds. Endomorphs are heavy set with shorter, bigger, broader bodies. So you would expect, and shorter limbs. You would expect that endomorphic individuals, if there's a group that's more endomorphic, that maybe they've adapted to a colder environment. The different mechanics that you need to perform different sports means that your body is perfect for a sport. It's just a question as to which sport has the best mechanics for your body. Having small bone body mass, long legs, skinny calves, that's going to make you an elite distance runner. This elite body type is most likely to have evolved in a warm climate, a hot climate. And then I told you about this perfect physiological storm where you can move, where number of generations, hundreds of years ago, a group of individuals to get away from war moved from this Sudanese very hot environment where they've developed these long limbs up into the mountains of the Rift Valley, where they've now got altitude to help them develop greater lung volume. And now this has given them a kind of a perfect physiological storm to be a distance runner. But this isn't enough. I showed you that there's a perfect sociological storm because many of the people who developed in the Rift Valley have extreme poverty. They have an extremely hard life. And really what they've had is one way out. That if you can become a distance runner, you will have this way out. And this provides a huge stimulus to take what is potentially a good genetics and physiology, well adapted to running, and now put in the huge amount of work that's necessary to accomplish what you need to accomplish to become an elite distance runner. These are individuals who run more than 20 miles a day, running 2 to 3 times a day, every single day, move away from their families to do this. There's a huge dedication and strain that puts on their life. It's a huge, effort to do that. So you might have the perfect body, but if you don't give that amount of hard work to generate the perfect sportsman, you'll never do it. And just because one group has this perfect physiological storm doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in other places. It's just a little bit more rare. If we look at other places, we see an individual like Paula Radcliffe, who's from England. England is not a warm environment, I can tell you that. It's definitely not got a lot of other things, but if you look at her, small body mass, very long legs for her size. She's got small feet, tiny little calves here. She's got a perfect body shape to be an elite athlete. She only just lost her world record in the marathon this past year, and largely that's because of new technology that's come in with the shoes. So just because the body type is found better, you're more likely to find this specific running body type for distance running in the Rift Valley, doesn't mean that you're not going to find it all throughout the rest of the world, because each individual, just like myself and my brother, we're almost a foot difference in size, even though we had all of the same genetic and environmental things growing up. That just tells us that there's enough variability so that within each population, you're going to find an individual who fits the mold of a perfect runner, fits the mold of a perfect swimmer. It fits the mold of all of these different things. And it's really then giving those people the opportunity, and those people then taking that opportunity and that perfect body together and then putting in that years and years of hard work that's really going to be required for that elite athlete status. And again, if you want to learn more about this, I really push you to take a look at David Epstein's book, The Sport Gene, because they have a lot of this information is there in more depth.